I'm really proud of him. It's really well deserved, and we always tell our guys that any individual award is a reflection of our team too. I mean, it's a reflection of the individual, the great effort and the work that he's put in. It's a reflection of that, but it's also you can't do it without your teammates and the whole program, and so that means a lot to our program and not just Chandler but everybody involved.
You go back and look at the tape. 44 points is 44 points. What was most impressive about when you went back and looked at it again?
I mean, watching it live, it kind of blew you away. I mean, it was pretty evident when first media came and he had all our points, and I think the second media came and he still had all our points, and it was impressive. And what was also impressive, he wasn't just scoring. I mean, he was rebounding, he was guarding, he was bringing the ball up the floor against the press. He was, he was doing everything, and that's Chandler's game. He's a versatile player who does a lot of things, not just score. So when you look at the 44 points, he's still doing all those other things that make a difference in us winning. And that's the bottom line, and that's the most important thing is we were able to get done what we need to get done, and he did whatever he had to do to make it happen.
Liam, I'm curious, going back to your days at Gonzaga, what's the closest comparison for a single game performance like Chandler's that you've seen?
Well, Adam had some amazing ones. Dickow had some pretty impressive ones, and but I don't remember one. Adams against Michigan State where he had 43 in an epic battle, but we scored 105, 108 points, I think, and a lot of other guys had 25. Plus points or 20 points or, this game it was kind of Chandler, and then, I was hoping for some other guys to get scoring. So I think I've never seen a guy, like I said, do so many different things and really carry the team like he did.
Have you won a game where you didn't have any bench points before? I mean, that was kind of an oddity. You had 0 bench points in that game.
that was peculiar too. I mean, that's Alex been providing a lot of points off the bench, and our bigs have been pretty solid off the bench, and Marcus too. So no, I don't remember a game where we got 0 off the bench in my 8 years here. I bet Pete says no, we haven't had one. So
at all, or just where you won?
What?
At all, or just when you won?
His tenure.
Oh wow.
Moving forward, you'll take 44 points, but what is the proper balance for you in terms of getting more bench guys and more other guys involved in the offense?
Well, a lot of times, and that's what's good about Chandler. He kind of takes what's given. Like if you got to think back to the one game where he only took 3 shots.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine a guy that can score like that to only take 3 shots? Well, they were guarding him with 4 guys, and we won by 30 that night. So I think that's why this team is able to accomplish some things and get some things done and win some games is, okay, choose your poison. Do you want him to, not shoot at all? Well, he moves it around and we get great shots and we can do that too. So I don't think there's an absolute formula, but, we have the versatility to kind of do whatever it takes, I think.
You look ahead to tomorrow's matchup. They bring back a guy like McEwen. Thoughts on Utah State?
Yeah. I've seen them play really, really good. Now in the last couple games they've had some tough minutes, but those games were closer than what the numbers looked like, and I think they're a really dangerous team, an explosive team, and I always think they're well coached and they got really good players, and they shoot a lot of threes too, and that's always really scary too. So I know that this is going to be a Mountain West game, and in my 7 years in the Mountain West, I have never showed up where you went, oh, that was a piece of cake, maybe 1 or 2, and that's it. And I know that's not going to be the case. We're going to have to come out and play a really, really good basketball game, and deal with different problems that they'll give us that are going to be different from the last team and different from the next team. So we know that any Mountain West game, you're going to have your work cut out for you, whether it's home, road, whatever. you got to play a great game, and that's what makes this league so good. It's so competitive night after night.
You made such a push with the crowd and everything for
Mhm.
Saturday, and it was such the build up was so big, and obviously
Right.
against San Diego State, and you got the big game against Nevada coming up on Saturday. I mean, this game tomorrow, how do you kind of focus back in and know that every game is just as important as the next game, and obviously this is just as big as the one Saturday in
Yeah,
a lot of ways.
and that's where, I'm banking on our senior leadership. I'm banking on our practice habits and what we do on a daily basis, that, we have a good understanding that this is important, and, we got to have a clear heads about our approach, and that, I think our guys do a pretty darn good job of that, but, we got to make sure the message is clear and they understand it, and we're all on the same page with it.
With college kids, is that? I mean, I know every game you try to treat it the same and stuff.
Right.
But is that ever hard when they do know kind of what's coming up and what just happened, and trying to make sure that every game they get up for it the same?
Right, it is, and that's and that again, that's what I talked about before. We don't want to try to rise to the occasion one night and then we're awful the next night. We're trying to play at a high level every single night, which is a big challenge. I mean, when you play 30-something games and they all matter, this day and age, your games in November are important, your games in December are important. Every single game matters, and so you want to be able to play them all at a consistent high level, and so that's where your habits come in, your habits of how you do things on a daily basis, and that's what we need to. But we also, the thing that I love about this team, we play with emotion and energy, and for each other, and that's what we have to focus on.
Big weekend in the NFL. Who's going to the Super Bowl?
Well, I think I think it's going to be Minnesota, and you can't go against the Patriots. So I think it's building up to have the Minnesota home field, especially after their last win. They almost feel like a team of destiny. So I'm going to go with Dave Southern's Minnesota Vikings. And,
Hey, you're a Vikings fan, aren't you?
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
I'm
sorry
thinking about Will here. Come on.
Sorry about Will. Yeah, Dave
He's the
just
one that's
more.
here, too. Come on.
Dave is more vocal about it, right? And I've had to hear it for 18 years with Dave. So, so probably, I'm going with Minnesota, New England, no question.
And when